What's going on, people? It's your boy Mo, aka the Hoop Genius, and I've got some breaking news for you. The NBA 2K21 demo is out right now on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So go put that on download while you watch this video, and I'll tell you everything you need to know to get your skills on point for September the 4th when 2K21 launches. The NBA 2K21 demo has 4 teams available for you to play with, so I'm going to give you a guide to each squad before you decide which squad you want to hit the court with. The demo is out on the 24th of the 8th. 2 key numbers in the world of the NBA. They're the 2 jersey numbers worn by the legendary Kobe Bryant, so it's only right we include Kobe and the all-time Lakers as one of the teams on the demo. Kobe, may he rest in peace, played for 20 seasons with the Lake Show and won 5 titles with the team. The Mamba slots in at small forward for the all-time Lakers. They're a franchise that has won 16 championships in its history and boasts 5 all-time legends in their starting lineup, so you have your choice of players to use against your opponent. Kobe Bryant was a walking bucket. Whether it be three-point shooting or taking the ball to the hoop, Kobe could really do it all. His signature moves were in the mid-range area, with a bag full of moves that could rival Michael Jordan himself. He could face up his opponents and use a flurry of dribble moves to throw them off balance before pulling up and hitting the jump shot over them. His signature move was the turnaround fadeaway. He'd back his opponents down on the post, give them a shoulder shimmy, then turn around and knock down the smooth jumper whilst fading away from the hoop. Speaking of unstoppable moves, he's joined in the frontcourt by the NBA's all-time leading scorer, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. The man best known for his patented skyhook, which was impossible to block. Using his body to create separation between the ball and his defender, he would gracefully put up the hook shot, which would arc into the net almost every time. Kareem won 5 championships with LA and was an elite athlete whose strict physical fitness regime was years ahead of its time in the NBA. Standing at 7'2" with a 7'5" wingspan, Kareem will help you block shots as well as grab boards. If Kareem on your squad wasn't dangerous enough, anchoring the paint for the all-time Lakers is possibly the most dominant player the modern NBA has ever seen. Who better and who bigger than the man known as the Big Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. We're talking about a man so powerful he could destroy backboards when he dunks, obliterating any opponents in his way. Put him on the post and he'll back down defenders with ease, moving them out of the way before hitting a hook shot or more likely, throwing down a dunk. If the ball misses around him, you can bet he's grabbing the board. If you put up a shot around him, you can bet that the 7'1", 325-pound player will stop that from going in. Being so tall, he's the perfect player to go alongside Kobe, as pick and rolls between the two are a virtually unstoppable play. The pair won 3 consecutive titles together for the Lakers and are considered one of the best duos of all time. If that wasn't enough for you, wait till you see who we're adding into the mix for the backcourt. At shooting guard, we have the man known as the Logo, Jerry West. One of the fiercest competitors to step foot on the NBA hardwood, West was a combination of tenacious defense and a perfect jump shot. He was an all-star in every season of his career and helped lead the Lakers to the finals 9 times. He played with an intensity that terrified opponents. The guy broke his nose at least 9 times, but that didn't stop him playing. Jerry West was a perfectionist. He went hard every minute he was on the court, and he had a super quick shot release and could always be relied upon for a clutch bucket. Players have nicknamed him Mr. Clutch because if you needed a buzzer-beating jump shot, he's the go-to guy. The stats don't do him justice, but if you need a high-energy guard to pester opponents, force turnovers, and come up with steals, the Logo is useful to have on your team. Now, with a team packed with so many legends, you need the perfect point guard to distribute the ball and get the offense going. So who better than the legendary Earvin Magic Johnson? Magic was the face of the Showtime Lakers that dominated the 1980s, and his unique playing style revolutionized the game of basketball. His all-round play inspired the addition of the term triple-double to basketball's dictionary. His scoring and rebounding was impressive, but the standout skill for Magic was his passing. Whether they were behind the back, full court lobs, through the legs, you name it, Magic delivers it with pinpoint accuracy. Standing at 6'9", one of the tallest point guards of all time, he had supreme court vision. He set arenas alight, running the fast break and dropping dimes to his teammates, throwing alley-oops with ease, launching bullet passes through triple teams. No one knew what he would do next. If you thought he was about to pass, he'd score the ball, and if you thought he was about to shoot, he'd pass. A truly perfect point guard to distribute the rock amongst the rest of the legends that are on this lineup. Now, if you've got the Lakers, you already know who they need to be up against. When you think of two things that are inextricably linked, like peanut butter and jelly, you best add the Celtics and the Lakers to that list. The two franchises have been intertwined throughout the history of the NBA. The only team with more championships than the Lakers is the Celtics. So let's take a look at the all-time Celtics team that you can use to go up against the Lakers with on the 2K21 demo. Flashy before flashy was cool, Bob Cousy dazzled the NBA throughout the 1950s and 60s with his playmaking ability. The heart and soul of the Celtics dynasty, and he got himself 6 championship rings. A constant fixture at the top of NBA scoring and free throw percentage leaderboards, Kuz led the league in assists for 8 straight seasons. His high-level skills and instincts made him look like a player from a future generation teleported back to his era, making him a no-brainer choice for the point guard spot in this all-time Celtics team. One of only 4 players to have won 8 championships during their playing careers, John Havlicek joins Cousy in the backcourt for this star-studded team. If you're unfamiliar with Havlicek's game, imagine Scottie Pippen if he had come around 20 years earlier. A uniquely versatile game, he could play anywhere from the 1 to the 3, and on defense, he could guard anyone from the 1 to the 4. One of the best athletes of his generation, he was notorious for wearing out opponents, constantly moving all game long with unmatchable stamina as he ran baseline to baseline. He could do it all as one of the best all-round players in NBA history. Shooting, slashing, rebounding, passing, ball handling, defensive IQ, the man nicknamed Hondo was one of the most clutch players ever. He played for 16 seasons, being an NBA All-Star for 13 straight years, and is still the Celtics' all-time scoring leader. If you're talking about the Celtics and scoring though, we need to talk about the small forward of this team. The man who Shaq himself nicknamed the Truth, Paul Pierce, is the 3-man for the all-time Boston team. Known for his big-time shot-making, methodical ability to craft together dribble moves to punish his defenders, and laser-sharp long-range shooting, Paul Pierce is as real as they come. He was the Finals MVP in 2008 when the Celtics beat the Lakers in the NBA Finals and had historic battles with Kobe Bryant throughout the years. At 6'7" and 235 pounds, Pierce had the strength advantage over wings who tried to guard him, meaning, like Kobe, he could score with his back to the basket as well as off the dribble. This man was also a walking bucket. Now, if you think Paul Pierce is a tough matchup, just wait until you see who's playing the power forward spot for this team. A man so talented, he would practice shooting 3-pointers with his eyes closed. A man who once played an entire game left-handed because it's claimed he wanted to save his right hand for the Lakers in the following game, and he still dropped 47 points, 14 rebounds, and 11 assists. That's right, the one, the only Larry Legend. Bird could do it all on the court. Scoring was his speciality, from literally anywhere on the court. He was a master at passing, famous for no-look behind-the-head assists. He averaged double-digit rebounds for his career, and he played defense with a generation-defining intensity. Bird was the embodiment of Celtic pride and led a rivalry against Magic and the Lakers, which some say saved the NBA during the 1980s. As great as Bird was at everything on the court, the biggest factor he brings is his ability to perform under pressure. He was notorious for casually strolling up to opponents before games and telling them how many points he was about to score, telling opponents late in the fourth quarter exactly where the game-winning shot would come from, and they would be powerless to stop him from making it. As fun as basketball is to play, whether in real life or on 2K, it really boils down to one thing above all else: winning. And there is no bigger winner than the center of this all-time Celtics team. The man has won so many rings he's run out of fingers to put them on. 11 championships in 13 years, 5 MVPs, and an iconic place in the history of basketball. Bill Russell's impact on the court was almost as big as his impacts off it. He protected the paint like no other, swatting away any attempts from the opposition. He cleaned the glass at a mind-boggling rate as well, averaging a staggering 22.5 rebounds per game throughout his career. The ultimate big man rim protector to bring a defensive edge to this star-studded lineup. Now, whilst we all love playing with the all-time legendary teams on 2K, it's only right that we include some current squads on the 2K21 demo, and we've got 2 stacked lineups for you to test your abilities with. The first team we have for you is one that steamrolled their way through the regular season with one of the most efficient offenses and defenses the league has ever seen. That's right, it's the Milwaukee Bucks. Led by NBA 2K19 cover star, the Greek freak Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Bucks are dangerous. Giannis can get to the bucket in under 2 strides and is an unstoppable force on the fast break. And he's surrounded by the perfect pieces to complement him. Chris Middleton has made consecutive All-Star teams and has proven himself as a highly reliable scorer for Milwaukee, hitting a high percentage of shots from anywhere on the court. Eric Bledsoe is a tough guard who can play high-energy defense whilst distributing the ball and getting to the rim himself. Wesley Matthews brings a 3-point shooting threat. And don't forget the big man in the middle. Brook Lopez, known as Splash Mountain to fans in Milwaukee, has revitalized his career by establishing himself as an elite rim protector and 3-point scoring threat. When you play with the Bucks, you've got 5 scoring threats on the court at all times. Get out in transition and enjoy some thunderous dunks from Giannis, or get the ball moving to find the open 3-pointer from his supporting cast. Matching up against the Bucks on the 2K21 demo is the team featuring last season's Finals MVP, the LA Clippers. Kawhi Leonard leads a star-studded lineup. They're one of the most deep teams in the NBA, boasting a bench full of guys like Lou Will and Montrezl Harrell, but let's take a look at the starters. The Claw is the main man, an absolute killer in the mid-range. We all saw what he was capable of in the playoffs last season on both sides of the ball. Even if you weren't an NBA fan last season, you will have seen his iconic buzzer beater off the dribble against Philly. Alongside Kawhi Leonard is another superstar in Paul George. PG-13 is a lockdown defender, but on the other side of the ball, he can truly do it all. He has a size advantage over smaller defenders, and he can simply shoot over the top of them and the speed to blow by bigger defenders and get to the hoop. His tenacity on the court is surpassed only by the heart and soul of the team, starting point guard Patrick Beverley. An absolute pest for opponents on defense, constantly causing turnovers and steals, you'll find him hustling hard on the court every second he's out there. A real pit bull. The Clippers lineup also features another dog in Marcus Morris Sr., a man who's not afraid to back down to anyone. He can create his own shot if the offense comes to a standstill and can knock down open shots when defenders double Kawhi and PG. They're anchored in the middle by the big man, Ivica Zubac. At 7 foot tall, he has quick hands and is quick on his feet and can even score from the outside. His 7'4" wingspan helps massively on defense, and he can hold his own against the league's most elite bigs. The Clippers are a deep team that no one wants to go up against. So those are the 4 squads that you can use on the NBA 2K21 demo on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. So all that's left for you to do is download the game and get practicing, because when the full game drops next month, I promise you, things are about to get crazy. Tweet us at 2K_UK to let us know how you get along with the demo, and I'll be more than happy to provide you with some additional tips and tricks. All 4 of these squads are packed with talent, so I'm off right now. I'll see you guys soon, and don't forget, get buckets.